Welcome, baseball fans, to Friday night, Game 2 of the National League Division Series, Game 1 of the American League Division Series. We've had 4 games, but currently LA and Washington are still playing. Washington's leading 4-2 in the 8th, bringing in Scherzer. More to come on that in the future, but because the game is still running, nothing to report finalized yet. We do have these exciting games to go into. We'll start off with Houston. It's of no surprise that Verlander started for Houston. Tampa, having burned their only starter with Snell on the injury list just to get to the division series, went with their next best choice, relief pitcher Glasnow, and he did a phenomenal job going 76 pitches over 4 innings, giving up 2 runs. Against anybody else, that would be a pretty decent start, and in regular season you take that any day, and give your offense a chance to come back against the bullpen. However, we're talking about the Houston Astros and Justin Verlander, and that is as good of a show as it is just not going to get it done against the Astros. Unfortunately, they made a valiant effort. It just was just not enough against the juggernaut in Houston. Verlander goes 7 innings pitched, clean ball, 0 ERA, and he is all-time 8-0 in division series play. He's played a lot of games between Detroit and Houston in the playoffs, and he is just his outright dominant self. Some of the highlights here is Altuve hits a 2-run home run in the 5th inning. Tampa has a fielding error in the 5th, giving Houston a 4-run lead, and in the 7th, a 2-run double gives Houston a 6-0 lead to cap up the scoring on Houston's side. But more to the point here, I find interesting that Presley is often spoke about as one of Houston's better relief pitchers. But in the games, I haven't seen every performance Presley has had over the course of the season. But the ones I have seen, I have been very unimpressed with Presley. And Houston fans, go ahead, read me the riot act, and tell me how awesome Presley is. I welcome it. Bring it on. But in the games I've seen Presley, he has been less than dominant. And in this game, he gives up Tampa's only 2 runs. Now, given the fact that Houston is so strong in the rotation, so strong in the lineup, very solid in defense, that's getting kind of nitpicky to have one relief pitcher that's a little bit shaky because you don't even have to use the guy, or use him when you have big leads like you do here, or in games in this kind of situation where you have so much control over the game, he eats up innings. You can use him in so many different ways, and he could also have very much a lockdown, shutdown game. The story of this is all about Verlander, though. This was his night. He owned it. He dominated the Rays, and he showed why Houston is the #1 seed in baseball. Now you've got Garrett Cole coming up, I presume next, and then from there in Game 3. But this shows off the bat that Houston means business, and they're in it to win it. Tampa's going to put up a fight. I just think they're going to come up short. And I would not at all be surprised to see a 3-game sweep here. I really would not. So, congratulations to Houston on your Game 1 victory. Good luck, Tampa Bay, in Game 2. Moving on to St. Louis and Atlanta. Now, here's a game of true pitcher's duel. 3-0 lead happened late in the game. Granted, Donaldson gets a single, helping Ozuna score a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning. So, yeah, they did have a 1-0 lead early in the game. But that was the beauty about the National League. It was a small ball victory. It wasn't big flashing home runs and everything. It was moving the runners over and bringing them in. Traditional grade A Atlanta baseball and typical National League baseball, whereas American League is generally more ridden on home runs, and you definitely have a home run in the Houston game, and you have a lot of scoring in the New York to Minnesota game. In Atlanta, You do have a 2-run home run by Duvall in the 7th, but the game starts with small ball. And it was a beautiful thing because it showed you a pitching duel between St. Louis and Atlanta. And you have two very high-quality pitchers going here, and they did give it their all. It just so happens that Atlanta's pitcher just outshined his counterpart. And I haven't pronounced their last names because I don't want to butcher them. Flaherty for the Cardinals and Nowitzki for Atlanta, and I apologize if I mispronounced that, but they both did absolutely stellar. St. Louis Flaherty going 7 innings, 3.86, 3 earned runs, allowing all the scoring for St. Louis. And during the 7th inning, when he was trying to keep his team going, trying to will his team forward with a 1-0 lead, trying to give another shutdown inning, trying to give his offense a chance to try and break through. When Duvall hit that 2-run home run, the look on his face was just like, wow, he knows that he was gassed. At 117 pitches, he really gave his absolute everything. At the end of the day, he just got gassed, left the ball in just the wrong place, and Duvall took advantage of it and got that home run. It was one of those things where, shake it off, man. You did an awesome job. You gave him a phenomenal effort. You did everything you could have been asked to do. Fundamentally, I think that if St. Louis had gone into their bullpen a little bit earlier, at 117 pitches, that's really, really pushing a pitcher's mark, limits on fatigue. And he was definitely gassed after that. He really was. They should have taken it out a little sooner. It would have been a much different game. Not that I think that St. Louis would have won the game, but because St. Louis never actually scored anything off Atlanta, but a 1-0 game would have been a lot closer. At the end of the day, Duvall gets his 2-run homer. It becomes 3-0. It was a phenomenal pitching duel, and it was a game in which keep showing agency. It was so close, and nobody could do anything against either pitcher. Now, they did get runners on throughout the game, but it was no one was able to break through and come around. So it was always about, okay, we can get guys on, but we can't bring them in. It was a beautiful defensive game, and for those who love a pitcher's duel, this was a dream game for the playoffs for you. Now, for those who are offensively minded, we have the Minnesota Twins at the New York Yankees, where we've got 10-4 score. Fundamentally, the way these two are just juggernauts in their lineup, where Minnesota edged out New York 307 to 306 in home runs, but New York edged out Minnesota in overall runs scored on the season, shows that both teams are absolutely dynamite in their lineup. Both lineups are lethal as all get out. And neither pitcher really went all that far. They both went out in 4 innings, and I'm not at all surprised. While Minnesota's rotation might have been looking like they were prepared to go deeper into games than New York might have been, at this point, going with Paxton versus Burroughs, either one of them could have theoretically gone 6 or 7 innings. But given the power of each other's lineups, neither manager is going to take any chances with a pitcher, especially when you have 12 pitchers in the bullpen to play with there, and you have a lot of depth in the pitching there. You're going to, at any sign of danger, you're going to go to relief pitchers and even go to one-to-one matchups if you have to. And so it did not surprise me to see that in the 4th inning, Burroughs won. In the 5th inning, both pitchers were gone. Burroughs giving up only 1 run, Paxton giving up 3 runs. 1st inning, Polanco getting a home run, Cruz getting another home run, another home run in the 3rd. Sano getting a home run in the 6th. Then of course, New York joins in the home run parade with LeMahieu getting 1 and Gardner getting 1. But what I found interesting was that while there were home runs, the biggest damage was the small ball. You've got Edwin Encarnacion getting a double to get a run in. You got Torres with bases loaded, getting a ground out to bring in 2 more runs, giving New York a 3-2 lead. After Polanco ties that up, Torres gets a double, bringing 2 more runs in. None of those were scored on home runs. It was all just knocking people around. I mean, throughout this game, everybody could hit. The pitching, I don't want to say the pitching was bad or it was just that the lineups were just too overpowering for the pitching that was put forth. Did the pitchers make mistakes? No question about it. They did let a lot of guys get on. At the same time, I do give a lot of credit to both lineups. They both did a phenomenal job. End of the day, a 10-4 win for New York, and this is a game I absolutely see going 5. On the New York side, I think your weaknesses you're looking at your starting rotation. But yes, you have Tanaka. Yes, you have Severino. You have Paxton. But how deep are any of them going to be able to get in this game? If you pull everybody out of 4 or 5 innings, you're going to tax the crap out of that bullpen. And no matter how good they've been all year, if you tax them that bad, and even if you win the division series, what do you got left for the ALCS when you got Houston staring down your neck? Same thing for you, Minnesota. If your pitchers can't go deep, you're going to tax the crap out of your bullpen. And what do you got to have left for Houston? They're not exactly having trouble against Tampa here. I realize you got to win this game. You can't worry about Houston. I get that. But both of y'all got to get your pitchers to go deeper. Really, I don't care how good your bullpen is. Fourth, fifth inning isn't going to get the job done. You're going to tax the crap out of your pitchers. Especially considering that both of y'all can hit like nobody's business. At the same time, both of y'all could use some defensive shoring up here. Granted, most of the damage done by Houston was on the pitching because they all were home runs. And there you just have to fault the pitcher. You got to make better pitches. On the Minnesota side, you gave up 10 runs. And fundamentally, look at all the small ball going on there. Your fielders have got to shore up the defense. You've got to make those plays. The grounders to third to first, missing those plays. The balls that get past the infield into the outfield that let 2 runs score. It's like, you got to shore up your defense. That's been a weakness for Minnesota all year long. They've been relying on outslugging teams. Well, now you're up against a team that's just as good in the offense. What are you going to do? If you're going to try and take out New York, you got to shore up that defense. You got to fix something there. Either that, or you got to figure out a way for those pitchers to be more dominant. Look over at Houston. They know what they're doing with the pitching. At the end of the day, it was a phenomenally great game. All 3 storylines were intensely fun to watch. I loved watching Verlander get his vintage game on. I loved watching the pitching duel. And the scoring barrage in New York was just non-stop action. I hope you all loved it as much as I loved it. Please give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you just happen to come across this video on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel. Have a great night, and thank you for watching.